This morning for you on Daybreak, a Branson man has been missing for almost 11 months, and his family is still searching for those answers. And Governor Parson announces Missouri is getting more coronavirus vaccines. We'll see when those will start to roll out. Also, students and staff at Missouri State are mourning the loss of a longtime member of the Bears family. We'll have Guy Webb's story here all this hour for you on Daybreak. Welcome back into the show, everyone. It is a Monday. It's January 4th. It's a new week. I'm Joe Morano here. Thanks for joining us. Jennifer Abreu has the morning off, but we're here to take you through. Meteorologist TJ Springer is with us this morning. This is when everyone either is groggy from the holiday stretch, because I guess it's officially over, right? Or they're refreshed and ready to start the new week and new year, right?
You know, how did you feel when you woke up this morning? I was actually a little more refreshed than I was in previous days. That's for sure.
I think I'm a little exhausted this morning, but again, you just got through that big Christmas and New Year's stretch for everyone, so hopefully everyone was enjoying themselves. Right?
I hope so, too. Yeah, hopefully a lot of folks were able to relax and enjoy some family time. But, yeah, we're starting off our first full week of January, Joe, with a bit of fog and some dense fog at that. We do have some dense fog advisories in play until 9 o'clock. They have been dropped. They actually were in effect right down to the state line, including Branson, Springfield, Monette. Those have since been dropped. I think where the snowpack and some of that lingering ice on the trees, just moisture at the surface, where it's a little bit greater to our north, that's where the fog is a little more dense. And down to our south and west, where it hasn't been all that bad, I don't think we're going to see as thick of a fog. But we still have some potential anyway through the next few hours to see some of that. Like in Branson, we are at 8 miles, 6 in Springfield. We notice to our north, it's a lot worse. Near a mile in Fort Wood, Camdenton, only at a quarter. That does include Rollo, Lake Ozark, 0 mile visibility in Clinton. So you must travel with caution this morning. I think we'll have it around through the morning commute, possibly toward lunchtime in some spots. If it does linger a little bit more, we're not going to have a lot of mixing going on in the atmosphere because of the wind. They're not going to be all that strong. In Springfield, you can see it is pretty quiet out there right now. We're not seeing that thick fog. We are going to have temperatures that are cold, though, and that could lead to some freezing fog. We will talk more about another wintry weather chance and when our temperatures do begin to rebound some, Joe. That's all coming up in about 10 minutes.
A local mom is hoping 2021 will bring her son back home. David Koenig has been missing since February, and nearly 11 months later, his family is still searching for answers. Madison Heaver brings us her story this morning.
Dave is literally the biggest personality in any room he walks into. You can't miss him. He's 6'6". If somebody needed help with something, they would call him. It's hard to miss him. Somebody like him doesn't just disappear.
Tracy Koenig is the mother of David Koenig, a 26-year-old from Branson who's been missing since the beginning of February of 2020. Dave is an MMA fighter who spent a lot of his time at the gym training and coaching.
Well, that was the one really positive thing in his life, his family, and this was, to him, this is part of his family as well. It was the one thing in his life because Dave, he did struggle with some things in his life with addiction for some years, and this is what pulled him out of it. But he loved coming in here. This is what he, lived for.
She says she's disappointed with how long it's taking to find her son.
I'm just frustrated because I feel like it needs to go to the next level.
Her frustration, though, is not with Branson PD, who's been leading the investigation.
He is not their only case. They do other things, but I don't think that they deal with a lot of missing persons cases. I know that the police are interviewing constantly, and I'm in touch with them several times a week.
Even though it's hard, Tracy still has to live life without knowing where her son is.
Honestly, the only way that I can get through this is, day to day. I mean, I get up, I go to work. I have 2 other kids that are younger than Dave. You can't just lay there and cry and let it happen, because who's going to fight for him and who's going to be there for my other kids? I do take care of myself the best I can. It's been really hard, though.
Tracy says she hopes someone will come forward with information about Dave's disappearance.
I think ever since November, it's been really rough because it was his birthday. And then it was Christmas and Thanksgiving, and now it's a new year. And we still don't really have anything solid. I think that there's more than one person that knows what's going on and what happened. It's a new year. It's been beyond horrible for us, and somebody just needs to do the right thing. We miss you, and we need you to come home or let us know that you're okay. It's been a long time, and it's time to come home and be with your family.
Koenig is 6'6", about 240 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. He has multiple tattoos and is missing part of his middle finger on his left hand. He was 25 at the time of his disappearance a year ago. If you or someone you know has any information regarding this, you should call the Branson Police Department. It's 417-334-3300. You can leave a tip there anonymously if you wish to do so. We have some coronavirus vaccine coverage for you this morning. Missouri Governor Mike Parson says the state expects a delivery of 73,000 more vaccines this week. That's on top of the more than 200,000 already distributed. The 89,000 that have gotten it so far is about 1,500 per every 100,000 in the state. Those that first got vaccinated are expected to begin receiving their second dose this week. Missouri is still in phase 1A of distribution, which prioritizes long-term care facility staff and residents, along with healthcare workers. Students and staff at Missouri State are mourning the loss of a longtime member of the Bears family as Guy Webb has passed away from COVID complications. He spent 34 years as the choral director at MSU from 1980 until his retirement in 2014. Webb got the coronavirus in mid-December. His wife of 67 years, Barbara, is still recovering from it. Missouri State President Cliff Smart tweeted out that the school had lost a legend. He was 89 years old. The start of a new phase of vaccine distribution is on the way for Colorado. That includes moderate-risk healthcare workers, first responders, and people over the age of 70. But some of those people say they still don't know how or where to get it. 78-year-old Elaine says she called 5 pharmacies and her doctor but got no answers on how or where she should go in order to get the shot.
I was really surprised as I heard I could get the vaccine, and apparently nobody else knows and nobody had it.
UC Health in Colorado is booking appointments for patients in their database, but Dr. Michelle Barron says they're using a lottery system to determine who gets an appointment invite first.
They're just randomly assigned a number, and if their number comes up, then they get the invitation and they have the opportunity to get the vaccine. And if for some reason they weren't able to do it this time, they go back in the pool.
Phase 1A for the state is expected to wrap up in just about 2 weeks.
We are seeing some fog across at least parts of the Color 10 viewing area this morning, but we are smooth sailing on our Daybreak Live drive here in Springfield. Our photojournalist Tim has taken to the streets, and we're going to be okay, I think, on our morning commute. We could have some patchy fall, but it's a lot more dense to the north of the Springfield metro. We're also seeing some cloud cover, too. We'll talk more about the rest of our Monday forecast when our next round of wintry weather looks to arrive, coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go away.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Jennifer Abreu, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist TJ Springer. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.